So if they can get kills across the map and get a lot of pickoffs, it can be a bit awkward for Spirit to play the early game. But that again is all set up off the back of how the lanes go.
He has to be a little bit careful here. They don't have the summons just yet to be able to deal with it. They do have the battery assault though.
Just run past the blood ray and then turn back around instantly as soon as it expires. Like, all right, we can maybe do some damage now, but very similar to what we saw in game one, Miposhka just getting chased from the puppy man.
How long he wants to stick around here. Obviously, you don't want to be going all the way back to base. You want to try and get back to the lane as quickly as possible. TP, I mean, it's not the strongest lane, again, for Spirit on the bottom side. There's nothing stopping him from TPing away, but again, it's just about this divide and conquer strategy, right? You want this to happen. You want a 1v1 between the Beastmaster and the Bloodseeker for the bottom side. So Miposhka's doing his job. I think Puppy needs to get back to lane.
What is this? Oh god, Puppy's gonna stay on the high ground. Like, no, you're not going anywhere, sir.
Not going to get level 2 anytime soon on Puppy, so that Nightmare's not going to be as big of an issue. There's a career there.
There's a minute of this.
The most intense gameplay I've ever seen.
Let's do some predictions. How long?
Hold on one second. There's stuff happening mid lane. Toronto Tokyo is already getting pushed underneath his own tower again. Nisha doing a great job there. I think they're going to be able to pick this one up. Has he got the brain sap up in another 10 seconds? He does, and he's used 5 tangos already on Miposhka. This is pretty big for Pup.
I don't know how many put out, but he's definitely used a lot. But all right, Miposhka has entered the lane. A minute 30 in. Meanwhile, Collapse is with the boat. Collapse is going to go down actually. Oh no, Miposhka giving bonus movement speed to Chrysalis gets first blood. What a very interesting start to this game too.
Actually, I didn't even think about that. You know, the thirst coming through, just allowing him that little bit of extra damage, the ability to dominate the lane. In the end, very nicely done by Puppy. Shows what I know.
Now we can look at the lanes. Now we can get ourselves set up. 2 minutes in, we can see how everything's shaping up at the moment. Looks like Nisha with the battle against Toronto Tokyo. Relatively nice start for Nisha. To be expected with the Conquer's a much better later than the Pango, but Tokyo will do well and truly okay in this lane.
Gotta make sure they keep securing the water rings as well. Toronto Tokyo as well, right? Kunkka, not one of those heroes that relies on the mana, being able to effectively harass and get harm in the lane. Pango, completely the opposite. He needs to use the shield crash and the swap buckle as much as possible, and even with those, the Nisha already doing such a great job of bullying Toronto Tokyo out of this lane. Not mission accomplished just yet, but nearly 3 minutes in, we've got 2 lanes going very favorably for Team Secret.
It's all going to come down to the torrents from Nisha. He can clip some of the stray ones without using the X. Continuing to put a lot of harassment into Toronto Tokyo early, making sure it's very difficult to last hit under the tower. He's missed a couple here for the Pangolier.
What's the range creep though? I mean, Nisha just playing around with the tower aggro, most importantly, right? Making sure to use the Tiebringer for it. Not too many right clicks on the Pango under the tower, enabling him to stay in the lane just that little bit longer, and it's actually forced Toronto Tokyo all the way back to be able to pick up the bounty rune just to get back to the lane. I'm not sure how effective the magic stick's going to be again against the Kunkka or the laning stage, but he just feels like he might need to make a few rotations, perhaps around the power runes, which are only coming up in about 25 seconds. So will he get some assistance perhaps, or will he die?
Guess it's going to come down to how the creep equilibrium set up in some of the side lanes. The carries and offlaners are in a position where they'll be okay. It's actually top lane resolution. With the help of Zayats, is able to get a kill. So we've seen a couple of recent games here from Secret that they've kind of swapped up the lanes with Puppy, you know, playing up top with Resolution, and Zayats playing down bottom with Crystallis. And obviously this time it's back to the natural setup, already enabling this good start that Resolution's having.
Phase boot's now completed as well for Chrysalis, so with how well these lanes are going, it's really going to enable the Bloodseeker to perhaps put even more pressure in onto Collapse. Right now, got the wave pushing under the tower, so not as much of that kill threat, but going to be a scary spot to be in with Miposhka. Going for a bit of a gank attempt here, but you always have to be careful into a Bane lane. I mean, Bane and the Bloodseeker so effectively able to trade, especially against, again, this dual melee lineup.
it just seems like really both side lanes are very similar. Secret, they're looking to try and spam out to bring down the boars, and then for Spirit, they're doing the same thing top. Just the dagger, 2 points in it, mirror as well with the arcane curse as well. Enough damage thanks to the kind of change to the Eidolons, reducing a lot of the magic resistance.
And just dominating the... He is 900 net worth ahead of Pango 5 minutes into this game. That is how well Nisha is playing this one. He is absolutely dominating. He's nearly got his level 6 at 5 minutes. That's some crazy timing. Very few CS missed out on. He's going to look to get the Observer Ward planted if he can around just before this Power Rune timing, so that he can look to deny it away from Toronto Tokyo and maybe even enable some sort of movement towards this lane if he gets that solo pick off before Pango hits level 6.
They might need that extra stun from Zayats. See Toronto Tokyo instantly starting to play his distance here. Poppy just going down 2 points in the battery cell from Raposka. Feeling like he has an opening to try and clean the Bane if he's off solo, and almost has enough damage.
Good though. He's got the siege creep in the lane, looking to play around that bottom Power Rune and hoping that luck's on his side. He's going to need a little bit of the Gaben RNG to be able to secure it, and he doesn't. He even commits with the shield crash, so it might be a little bit of danger here. Not wanting to commit the both just yet. On point is Nisha. Still just can't come back into this lane, right? What's to do against this? Running out on mana because you didn't secure the rune. At least you've got the bounty to play with. He looks to can't even make a rotation until you're level 6.
So I think the angle for Toronto Tokyo is going to be just try and soak up your level 6. You're not too worried about this mid lane tower going down without a catapult. So once you get your Rolling Thunder, then look to make a play on the side lane. Bottom lane, Maposhka trying to kill off Poppy. The Nightmare's going to be able to set up for the Blood Ride. In fact, he doesn't have enough mana for it. He'll be relying on the good old right clicks, but the Cloaks can put himself in an awkward position on Crystallis. Still, he's got the movement speed to try and catch up. One more right click will do the job. He'll even get a Chloe for good measure as well.
Game. Poppy a little bit short on the mana as well. Otherwise, they could have potentially gone for this kill onto Collapse. But again, it's going quite well. Surprisingly enough, top side, the first death on TSpirit goes Rezo. He's always renowned for having that super strong start to the game, and they might be able to get another easy pick off here onto Mira. Accelerate that net worth now on Nisha. Farming up multiple camps at once. Someone that's an absolute expert, even picking up some of those power runes. Didn't even need to use the boat for that, so Yatoro not getting his farm from the lane, has to stay off into the trees. Pretty good job so far as he looked to commit the black hole, and yep.
Yeah, that he will. Zayat's gonna hold the stun. Trying to use the perfect chain control, and that'll enable them to ramp up the damage required with all the Eidolons. Beautifully done from Secret. They didn't even need the rotation from Nisha.
And the happiest one about all of this is Toronto Tokyo pushes the lane in. He soaks up that farm. He's level 6. He's even potentially going to be able to secure that double damage rune for himself, which you just cannot give up to Nisha. He's got too much of a net worth lead. Will he look to use the torrent to be able to interrupt it? No way. No way. No way.
Oh, he got it. Okay. Oh, let's see. Toronto Tokyo is going to try and make the attempt with the Rolling Thunder. They can use the boat defensively with a run buff. Let's see if Nisha's going to be survivable. One TP's coming out. In fact, Nisha might look to turn it around to Maposhka. Reddening the Clockwork's life, but they will back off, so a couple ultimates expended along with some rotations out of the supports.
Oh man, if he got that, if he got that DD rune and it was able to turn that around.
Woo. Bottom lane, Collapse might be in some trouble here. Trying to use the micro to hold back Crystallis, but Poppy with the Nightmare will enable the Bloodseeker to close the distance. Some juking has to occur if Collapse is going to be able to stay alive. He's going to run to Maposhka. Acting as the bodyguard, Crystallis goes a long way around. Tries to get in front, he doesn't. Oh no, Collapse chucks out an Axis. They've got Yatoro was on. No way, Collapse doesn't die. Still in the lane he goes. They need a little bit more damage. One more right click will do it. Collapse will turn to stand his ground. They don't get the kill.
He gets a 6.
And now we got the roll from the experience from the... Oh no, what just happened?
Oh, Collapse just happened. That's what, I mean, that is the most demoralizing thing that you can imagine. Even the Haunt there, just to provide that little bit of extra damage output, get him that little bit lower. What a play coming through from TSpirit. The individual dominance coming through from Nisha and mid for Secret. Collapse for Spirit is just way too much. This is a show.
See if they can continue that now. Spirit, it's going to be a very difficult defensive top lane. Nisha's nearby to help out as well. Boat's going to get laid down. They need a little bit more damage. Nisha's going to try and find an angle for the Tidebringer instead. It'll just run onto the tower. We've got Crystallis here as well with the Rupture. dota2 will attempt to TP out and you'll make it. They're going to try and cut their losses here, but look at the spread damage. Crystallis to mirror. They're lacking the stuns. But the rest of the team are focusing down Miposhka's clockwork.
They still get the aggressive push in onto the tower. They get a couple of kills. TSpirit's sake, you've got Collapse playing down on this bottom side to get into this tower. Keep the creep wave pushed. Again, they're playing for the later stages of this game. What a play. Getting the level 6 off the back of that. You don't expect this. Big smiles.
Oh, God. Scary issues now. At least Secret, like one thing we were saying is that these lanes had to go really well for them, and they have. They had a 2,000 net worth lead now. T1 tower top's been claimed. What else needs to go right for Secret here?
Oh, they got to keep the tempo moving. How close is Nisha to some of his timings?
Postcard.
Got the black hole if they need it.
Boys playing behind him. With Crystallis just beating down Clockwork. An easy kill onto Miposhka, and Syats will not be able to escape though. Toronto Tokyo will be able to claim the life, and now he's going to move in for Crystallis as well, as we're at choke point. So we get a couple bounces back without the Rupture proving to be too much of an issue, but Poppy, he's even going to make the rotation as well. Another easy kill for Crystallis to find. So again, Secret bringing multiple members for these early skirmishes.
And importantly as well, not committing super heavily for it either on Team Secret. They still didn't use the black hole for that attempt, and it means that you still need to be playing a little bit scared.
Radiant's bottom
Pango,
tower is under attack.
Keep pushing the waves out as much as you can. Liking this play coming through from them. They're grouping up a little bit more than they were in that game number 1, and hitting their timings, realizing the strength of their abilities when used in conjunction with each other. It's not going to, of course, pick it up. Just so a couple little bit more of that that experience for himself. It's all about just trying to sustain yourself as much as you can in these team fights. Not give your life up for free. See if you can wait out the usage of that global silence before committing the Fiend's Grip. So more points than usual that we would normally see on this brain sap. So it helps just with maybe some of the split push coming through. Time at being able to deal with the summons.
Middle tower is under attack.
They're pushing down into this bottom side of the tower, trying to bait someone to make this move a little bit more defensively on Secret, but they're not taking the bait. They want to keep playing aggressively. They know that they don't have to deal with the Helm of the Overlord for the next little bit at least. Happy enough to lose out on some of this net worth because they've still got other ways to be able to pick it up. Mid lane, top lane, that's enough for them right now.
Yeah, we see with all the... So Secret, they're going to smoke themselves. Miposhka's in a pretty good position to pop this. You go the long way around though. Wanting to finally shut down Collapse on the Beastmaster. Able to scout out his position. Miposhka is nearby to cancel the Fiend's Grip if required.
They saw him though, so they know to play around it. Half duration left on that. They're going to try for the full wraparound here onto Collapse.
They need more members. GPs, they're starting to come out. There we go, Miposhka. Prime hookshot onto Poppy. They need the Fiend's Grip to be able to hold them down, but it will not matter as Crystallis and Zayats finds an opening to lead into the fight. Even Resolution will show up as well. So Secret putting a lot of importance on these early game fights.
Again, they know they're hitting their timings together. They know they've got the Wraith Pack, Black Hole available, Tier 1 tower still standing. They want to make sure that they're taking that away from Yatoro as much as possible. He shouldn't be feeling safe to just sit in this dire side of the map and farm safely in the jungle, and well, you definitely shouldn't be feeling safe on a silencer with Mira just getting easily picked off by the team as he tries to drag the aggro away from the tower.
Middle tower has fallen.
Now with that, Nisha, BKB, is looking to make the aggressive move forward, realizing how hard he is to kill, trying to, yes, accelerate his own net worth, but also deny some of this away from TSpirit.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Little farm you can slow down from Spirit getting is going to be incredibly important. The camps away here from the Spectre. And the camps for the Pangolier as well. You have Toronto Tokyo rushing to the Lincolns.
Oh, they found Yatoro.
Yeah, they're onto Yatoro. Resolution.
What are they going to commit
for? 1 point in the
it?
Midnight Pulse. isn't it because of the use of the blade? No, but Poshka's nearby as well. They've got the global silence. They're going to hope that they don't need any ultimates, but Poshka, oh, what a beautiful angle. Somehow slips the hook shot into the middle, but Poppy and the boy is in nearby to respond once again. And Fiend Script to hold down the Rolling Thunder, and they will be able to chase Poshka into the tree line as Chrysalis find to double kill, and now the tier 2 tower is going to be in some trouble.
Yeah, I mean, Secret are too good to just let you get the perfect global silence off, right? You're always going to need to get something in exchange for it. That time around, they popped it early, realizing, look, there's no BKB for the turnaround. We're still going to lock out this black hole. We're still going to stop this Fiend Script from coming through. They get the 2-for-1. They get some damage in onto the tier 2 tower. Well, they even get another kill onto Mira. Movement coming down top from Rezo. To not give up their own tier 2 tower for free. Again, Collapse is doing a pretty good job of creating space and shoving out this bottom side, forcing more defensive movements. No black hole used, but you're not up there with the rest of the team. You can't make use of it. I think that's
what Spirit can do.
That's what Rezo's thinking, right? He knows that they could probably look to commit the global silence for the Fiend's Grip in the next couple of fights, right? Puppy's actually going for a Lotus Orb super early on for himself, just wanting to provide that cleanse to make sure that, you know, maybe he might not get it onto himself. Maybe he uses it in onto Rezo, who's going to get a Flick Dagger.
He's going to see resolution, but the rest of Secret is starting to connect. They need to be quick on the kill, and they should be able to do so. There the boys have shown up once again. A Secret always nearby to be able to capitalize on a team fight. A 2-for-1 exchange. Chrysalis gets the double kill, and now they can once again swarm out on the map.
Pretty well with their strategy, right? This is exactly how the game needed to go for Secret to have a chance in this one. 5k net worth lead, but just have a quick look over at Dota Plus. It's obviously Secret favored a little bit, but not as much as you might expect from an 18-6 kill score. Just 62% right now. Good reason. Spectre, if you let her get to the late game, if you let that Blink Dagger and some of these other backline invading items and abilities start to come out from TSpirit, suddenly the game can turn a lot more towards you. You've already got the Helm of the Overlord available. It's going to take over the Ancient Thunderhide, so maybe now's the time that TSpirit actually look to make a bit more of an aggressive move. Yasha nearly picked up. Yatoro, level 11 on Beastmaster, with that Helm of the Overlord that I mentioned. Almost be go time.
I wonder when Secret feel like they can force the issue on Roche as well, because they don't have the greatest lineup.
I don't know if they need to. Like, what big abilities are you really needing to stop, right? Of course, Roche is great, but I feel like they need to put even more emphasis onto just taking these towers. That's the bigger objective this game, in my eyes.
You think they can? So you obviously think they can take tier 2 towers without Aegis?
Yes. You're stronger right now. You've got the Enigma. You've got the pushing potential. You've got decent vision up around the area. I'm an idiot. They're going into Roche anyway. But, you know, again, you're going to have to give something up in exchange for this. Collapse takes the tier 2 tower, gets them closer to that next item. You're going to keep trying to put the pressure down here with the Helm of the Overlord. So, yeah, you might take Roche, but what are you going to lose in the meantime? Got the Clockwork as well, Rocket Flare, used into the Roche pit. They look to go for some sort of big play here, and you're going to need to make a decision, right? Collapse is still ratting.
And this is what's going to happen for the entirety of the game now. Like, Secret are just going to look to ball up, and in fact, they're backing out of Roche, so they're not even getting it. This is a lot of gold that's going Spirit's way, and again, you do not want to give this team the late game.
Yeah, even just using the Rocket Flare this time, with the vision that they've got around the pit, realizing that if it hasn't fallen down now, maybe they did back off. So Naproshka putting the Rocket Flare inside the tree line, making sure that Collapse can continue this rat play. I don't think they're all that concerned about the Roshan, to be perfectly honest.
Oh, not at all. You don't care about this Aegis. Like, yeah, Secret are going to ball up, but now you just have an open tier 3 tower. So Secret have to push through bottom. Like, ideally for Radiant, you want to take this tier 2 top. You want to try and play in the top jungle. I don't think you can do that now because they're opening up the barracks.
Yep. Big agreement there. I think they would have gotten a little bit more value if they just took the tier 2 tower in time. I suppose that would have just meant that you still lost the tier 3 tower. But I mean, you've got a Kunkka that could just use the X marks to go back, right? And be able to deal with that. So, I don't know. But to me, it's just Collapse again, playing another stellar game. Realizing the weakness of the draft. Of course, he didn't get the best time out of the lane. He had that, of course, enormous play. But ever since then, he's done an amazing job of creating space for Yatoro. That 2-death start hasn't ballooned into much more that net worth.
See as well, Spirit trying to set up a trap, but Secret again bringing more members. Need to try and get control of their jungle again. They need to try and get control of the map just in general. Don't let Spirit continue to find their farm for free, because they are getting way too much out of these past couple of minutes. This Poppy probably going to be the target of the Roar and just an easy kill. That's all you need here. Bring down one member. Make them work for it. Poppy will still go down nonetheless, but Secret are going to look for the rebuttal. Not catch up to the clockwork. Oh, even Global Silence potentially just to cover the retreat of Collapse.
Yeah, they realize how important he is. They still were able to take out the Hem of the Overlord creep, so there's not going to be as much pressure put down onto this bottom side. So I like that out of Team Secret. What this does mean as well is that with the global being used, maybe now with the Blink Dagger on the black hole, you're free to make a big play happen. Should be a pretty free kill on Tamira here. I mean, it's a silencer. You can only do so much in the lane, and well, they're going to reveal the
turn.
Okay, they hit the Malphus though.
You couple of spell casting, and so Secret had to look to address this mid lane because the catapult, so they will continue to hold their tier 1 tower, and finally the map is in a good position for them to get something out of it. All the lanes over the halfway mark. We should finally be able to get some firm control back with this Aegis. It's been a really big nuisance for the past couple of minutes. Spirit have been annoying for them.
Labs immediately going back, taking another one of those ancient creeps. Health is going to do good amount of work, but again, maxed HP against an Enigma and a Bloodseeker. Doesn't have the Blood Rage just yet with the Aghanim shot, but as soon as he picks that one up, he doesn't really care about these high HP pulls. So...
They're going to make the attempt. Victoria's going to get involved as well as Nisha gets blown up. This is starting to get some really dangerous territory here for Secret.
Yeah, even like not even committing Collapse for that one. They just use a Toronto Tokyo to go down onto the bottom side to potentially force more defensive rotations. Again, they're basically playing the style that Secret have tried to play. This really greedy, like play for the later stages, and Team Spirit do it better than anyone else. They just know the
postcard. Positioning. They're okay with giving up the life of the clockwork. You need core kills. You can't be continuing to get these position 5s. And in fact, Spirit, they're potentially thinking about taking a fight. Toronto Tokyo with a Rolling Thunder just wants to snag the illusion rune and get out.
Tempted to use the Fiend's Grip there. Puppy, just to try and catch him off guard, but yeah, they've hit this little bit of a snag in their plans, right? Mira, he's died 6 times, but again, you're not doing what you're good at with Silencer, but it's what you have to do. You have to shove these lanes away. If you could avoid dying like he has tried at this top side with the use of the Observer Ward, then great. You know, you've forced some kind of movement up towards this top. It means that Nisha isn't clumped together with the rest of the team, and you've only got a minute left on this Aegis, so you might get a tier 2. I feel like Secret were wanting to get much more out of this Aegis than just that.
I think we're really seeing Spirit do an incredible job at just exploiting the support duo on Secret. Like, they're great at pickoffs, but the lanes, man, they can't do anything. Like, you always have one lane that is shoved in. Again, someone has to address bottom.
Yep.
This is maybe where Nisha needs to consider about a boost to travel, but you've already committed too heavily into your build.
I still think it's probably worth it, to be honest, and with the tier 3 tower going down, it just means that you can use the Hawk a lot more further towards the tier 4 towers as well, right? You don't even necessarily need to have it covering the tree line. You can see a bit more of the like supports that might be able to be standing on the back lines, and that just enables, for example, Yatoro to be able to make that individual jump.
Collapse with a freebie. All the sentries out in the lane, just making it so difficult. He's trying to find the opening to bring them down, and Maposhka as well, just again acting as a bodyguard. They do not care how many deaths the support gets. They're even going to rupture the helm of the Overlord creep as well. Like, Secret is hoping to try and claw in a position where they can try and get some map control, but oh, this is such an incredible gameplay out of the leading champions.
Yeah, they're not letting them do anything that they want to right now, and Yatoro, I mean, they're playing defensively now. If they fight, they have the potential to do it. But I think unless someone's completely isolated on their own, they're not going to commit that haunt, and only 2 components away from Yatoro picking up the Aghanim Scepter as well. So you can look to get those individual pickoffs. We saw how quickly even Nisha, the tankiest person on Secret, died when there was that rotation coming through from just 3 of Team Spirit's heroes.
You might need to consider a gem kind of shortly for Secret. It feels like Spirit are just breeding whack a book, and they again this lineup needs pickoffs to then be able to get the map into a position. But you need pickoff on the cores, and you're not finding them. So maybe a gem is something they're considering. But Puppey really needs this Lotus Orb to have a decent time in fights. Like Zayats needs Blink as well. Just the supports are getting no farm. Very, very difficult game to play here. Poshka's just using Dust in the lane as well to see if Zayats is there, but this could be... Oh no, they missed the stun. They're going to see Collapse in the tree line. Instant use of the Global Silence. No hesitation to try and protect the cause. They might be able to turn it back onto Collapse over. Crystal's going to be able to charge into the middle. He'll go through the Poshka next as well. So finally Secret will not only get one kill, a second, and now potentially a third as well. It's all going to be off the back of Zayat's stun, and he'll be able to land it onto Mira. Triple kill for Crystalus, and this now heavily opens up the bottom lane.
He's even gone ahead and bought the Aghanim Shard on the Bloodseeker, not wanting to wait for that second Roshan for the freebie. You've got plenty of heroes that would love to pick it up on your team anyway. Just a little bit of extra control in these team fights through the Torrent Storm would be nice. Realizing how much of a damage that's going to give him, and it was all on the back of a clever Midnight Pulse coming through from Rezo, being able to catch them off into the trees. They realize, why aren't we catching these guys? It's because they're playing around that fog of war. One clever usage of it suddenly opens up much more of the map for them to be able to play around. 2 towers, multiple heroes killed, and Secret give themselves that little bit of a net worth buffer again. Yep, in Spirit's favor, the win probability coming through. I know Dota2 does love the Spectre, but it's been able to creep its way back up towards Secret off the back of that.
If it's going to be a fast row spawn here for Secret. To have this objective to be able to clean and then push down some of the buildings. Actually baiting your Toro though.
He's got his Ags though, right before this Roche potentially spawns, and it's a pretty long one. And look at that, as soon as it can respawn, instant rocket flare coming through with the Koshka. They're on the ball. Their minds are in the game. They're not stressed by this situation. They've been here many times before. Game 5, TI Grand Finals. You don't get much more intense than that. Oh, and even a Mind Breaker, such a great item for a Spectre to pick up if they wanted to give that over to him.
This could be a pivotal moment if Secret find the opening. Yatoro's going to show him the lane. For a second, though, they'll back up, and it looks like Spirit, finally for them, they're going to smoke as well. We could have a big 5-on-5, but seems like Spirit believe that a Secret are playing behind this top lane.
Barracks are under attack.
Good assumption. I mean, when you don't know 100... Well, actually, you do know the situation with Roche. You know that that's what they want to play around, right? Maybe they didn't see the fact that the Aghanim Shard was purchased up by Crystallis just being even more important.
They see Rezo in the There's a lot of damage coming out from the Spectre illusion. It might just be enough to get the kill until they need them to start the team fight. Toronto Tokyo is now going to try and prioritize the Conqueror as well. How can they re-enter? The Toro off to the right side, chasing down Puppey. They want to get rid of the supports with ease, and they should be able to do so. No one on Secret protecting the Bane. Yatoro gets a completely free fight, but back in the middle. Crystals can chase down one with a triple kill. A Global Silence going to be able to protect the Black Holes. Yatoro somehow still alive for the moment, but Zayats done up in a couple of seconds. Resolution can body block if required. Dagger on cooldown to get some distance away. Secret, the rest of the members are starting to converge on Yatoro's location, and there will be no escape for the Spectre. Trying to play around with the Shadow Stone. Back and forth he goes, creating all the chaos he would hope for. But somehow they have some vision of him on the high ground. In Secret, a big team fight victory for them.
I mean, they just brought him too low. Old mate Bloodseeker able to pick him off even with that melee attack range. Nothing that's going to extend his right-click range, but they I thought that fight was going to go a lot better for Spirit. They ended up using one of the Fiend Script, I believe, onto the Pangolier. He has the Lincolns, so it was wasted. You had to use the Rupture onto the Rolling Thunder. It still is able to take out Toronto Tokyo towards the start of that team fight. Shows the strength of this Bloodseeker. If you're able to get into this stage of the game and allow the right clicks to happen. Already so fast with the Blood Rage, amplified by the Mjolnir on top of everything else.
Radiant's
They used everything to try and hold him down. More cogs to put him in a position where Crystallis couldn't stun.
Back live. Collapse is actually getting dived a little bit here underneath the tier 2. Looking to try and creeps away from him, but they're just going to commit. They will.
They will indeed. Crystallis protected with the BKB.
Tower is under attack.
Another fight. Zayats might be in a position to get another one though.
Dire's middle tower
They're
has
scouted up with Poshka, and they're going to be able to jump forward as well. It's a great position from Zayats. With another +1 kill, and this could be the opening for the higher ground now for Secret.
Radiant's top tower.
Such a good job with the way that the lanes were. Lotus Orb now as well finished up. So you're going to be able to have that Fiend's Grip capability. Know that Lincoln Sphere though on the Pango, really the best use of their abilities. But even just to allow, for example, the BKB not to be popped super early on, providing the Lotus in onto the Enigma perhaps to allow that Blink Black Hole while the BKB still isn't up quite yet on Rezo. Very, very big. But you've taken all the tier 2s, you know 100% that Roche is up, so they're just going to go back and claim it on Secret. Set up to Zayats. Once again, great game on his next assassin. Looking at exactly where he might be, knowing that they might need to go for the full wraparound in the lane, but get a little bit more aggressive with his positioning, catches out the smoke from Maposhka, gets pinged out immediately, and they still secure the Roshan.
And they got a great ward to go to instantly on Secret. So we have to be so cautious if they stick out on the map here. Delve them back in. Any breathing room, Spirit. They're in trouble. They still see Toronto, Tokyo.
Yeah, but they should see that Nisha's coming here. Good. It's going to be popped.
Oh, it's going to go from the Poshka instead. Easy pickings. Shot tries to... Okay, relatively well done.
Pickoff's a pickoff. But, yeah, we get away with the double 4 stuff coming through. Bit of the delay game, though, isn't it?
That it is, but can they stall this high ground? Because it's time for Secret. 13,000 advantage. Maybe you're waiting for the basher to be completed on Crystals.
Radiant's bottom barracks
Buybacks on the supports as well. Spirit realized that we weren't able to hold out as much as we thought we were, even though he did a fantastic job. They got to commit with their items right now in Toronto, Tokyo. He's going into the Aghanim Scepter, hoping that they can win the next team fight. Yeah, 5v6. They don't want to get Collapse caught out super early.
Radiant's
Push it up to the northern side. We'll be able to back far enough away, and that's way too deep for Secret to attempt that, so...
You now get aggressive, though. You don't have to worry about the rupture. You've got Toronto, Tokyo. Basher with the Lotus Orb might feel very, very capable of just moving in, taking this next team fight. You just got to fix the lane. Bottom is fixed. Mid lane, they're doing a fairly decent job, but Chrysalis doesn't want to let them manipulate the map any further than they already have. They even gave the Aghanim shot over to Puppey, just so that they can get that AoE brain sap so that they can make lanes constantly be in their favor and make these spirit moves more obvious. Gem for them, not wanting to get caught out.
Oh, Nisha!
Ну, ребят, это база.
That's a big pick. You need the global.
Yeah. 1,500 damage. They're going to test the buyback. That's nearly able to get that blink in as well onto the swashbuckle. Would have potentially led to the death of Toronto, Tokyo.
Dire's middle barracks.
Lead to the cracks going down.
Oh my god, Nisha's Kunkka, man. The amount of times I've seen him one-hit people. It's just so dumb.
1,600 damage that time.
That's all they needed, just a little bit of luck from a crit. They see a Toro out of the base. Uh-oh, scary, Toro. What can they do? No one else is nearby. It tries the Manta dodge. Looks like they just have to give up the Spectre's life. They were trying TP out, but the Tidebringer again from Nisha. No buyback on the Spectre, and they're going to have to do it 4v5.
I don't think they're going to be able to. This is why Team Spirit, they are a very good team being able to stall it out this long, but Secret, their aggressive tempo. This feels like when they play their most successful Dota, when they're able to clump up together, when they're not waiting for this later game timing. In the mid lane pushing in, there's nothing stopping them from just converging in onto this top side. With the gem, they're going to even take out some of the vision that they've got with the Hawks. Still haven't managed it. I mean, the ancient Rumble Hide just trying to pull the waves to influence them that little bit further. Feeling a little bit conscious of the fact that can we go on this high ground?
Are fortified.
I think they can. Wages, minute and a half, no Spectre. And they're still playing scared. Puppey's all the way back at base.
Oh my lord. The consistent spam of the rocket flare down bottom. You finally are addressing. Puppey's like, give me these gold. Oh, it's a lot of fun.
Yep.
Good. He's getting a lot of net worth. I guess that is helping out with the Aghanim Shard, but alright, Spirit, we'll live to see another day. Ages only for a minute. We have to be a little bit concerned if Nisha gets his hand on a DD.
And he will. Alright, double down. Our predictions. How much damage is he doing to Mira?
What did he do last time?
1600.
So I'll say like 2100.
Yeah, I'm gonna say 2222.
Sure, we'll go with that. That's great position. Once again, you'd always expect it out of his Nyx Assassin. Sniffing out any opportunity that Spirit have to try and control the triangle.
Now Puppy there though, they don't see that this Hawk higher out of information about their positionings. Got aborted as well, so Team Spirit, they're going to back off. Might go for the full wraparound, but be a little bit of work to be able to deal with both the super creeps in the mid lane, as well as that top lane that's pretty heavily pushing in. Double siege creep of their own is going to help matters, but they don't really hate waiting as well. We saw how effective they were at timing out that Aegis at the perfect moment in the previous. It's only 5 seconds away. Won't even get rid of the Observer Ward out there. Nisha said, get out of my base.
Right, there we go. Aegis ticks out. Then we'll continue on.
The boys.
Oh, the Poshka actually looking to jump in. Trying to poke from afar, not heavily committing to Viral Diats. Toronto Tokyo's
Oh no!
Oh no, the Rolling Thunder! And
he's back!
Back from Chrysalis. He'll get out of the ultimate with a swashbuckle, with the positioning up to the right side, and look to TP Rezo. No hesitation, they're even going to global for it. Maybe Toronto Tokyo, the abilities are on cooldown, they'll still chase him down. And a global silence used to no avail.
On Godlike as well, on Chrysalis, really showing why you gotta give respect over to the man's heroes. Many of them were banned out in the draft, but they let the Bloodseeker through. Now they don't have that global, they don't have the Roar, they don't have the Pango left alive, and it's like Yatoro doesn't feel like he's ready either. He wants that Skadi, he wants that level 20, so he can tank up a little bit further. Titan Sliver's gonna help. Might have lost the second lane of Rax in the meantime.
Structures are fortified.
With these siege creeps far enough away, never mind. They might just get cleaved down by the multi-shot, so stall this out again. Spirit. All the way back to base even on Yatoro. Be there just to be able to poke out there with the Spectral Dagger. Pango there really isn't anyone that's going to be able to do the same amount of work, except for the Beastbuster. Well, the Rumblehide never really gets the love that he deserves, you know? Mostly it's the Thunderhide, the accuracy increase, but no one's holding the Butterfly, I don't think, so big an issue. No Halberds either.
Alright. What do we got in store for us? Game continuing to push on leader. It's just, Spirit, you got to play some really slow fights and not heavily jump in the middle. You have this much of a net worth deficit that if you just face check 5 people, you're going to lose the team fight. It needs to be kind of the haunts to killing off the supports, just not heavily committing, in and out, dancing perfectly. It's really the name of the game. If you can kill off the Bane and the Nyx Assassin and kind of kite resolution, might have an angle in, but these team fights are not going to be easy at all. There is such a deficit for them to overcome.
They're getting some nice neutral items. Like, this is the first time that they've been able to actually go out onto the map in what feels like 10 minutes. You know, they had 3 out of the tier 3 items at the 37-minute mark. So the fact that they've been able to get to these ancient camp, slightly higher likelihood for these items to drop means that they get the Stormcrafter, they get the Timeless Relic. You're able to position yourself a little bit more effectively. Maybe collapse without the BKB. If he gets hit by the Malefice, for example, could just Stormcrafter out of it instead.
Not so safe harbor, eh?
Level 20 on Yatoro, he's got the Skadi. Ready to fight.
It's for them. It feels like if you're going to smoke, you need to be carrying a ward to drop down. This nighttime, you know that T could have held the gem for such a long time, so you don't really have any wards in a position that you can smoke to.
This is big as well, though, with the Witchbane. Able to pick that one up, so you're going to be able to pop a lot of these abilities that they're going to be putting onto people, like the Lincoln Spear on Bloodseeker. Maybe they get the lockdown that they need onto him with the Primal Roar if the cohesion is there. Haunt, blink in. Roar off, although actually blind. Laps doesn't have the blink dagger. He's going into the Octarine core. Maybe you need to have a little bit of a change up here to be able to find that key pick off at the start of the fight, because Chrysalis is just getting out of control. He is out of control.
Out of control.
18, 1 and 9.
Radiant's bottom barracks
It's a
are
crazy
under
performance
attack.
from him. I don't think the Bloodseeker's won a game so far as well, unless some other things have happened throughout the other streams today, but yeah, I mean, it's his bread and butter. He's Grandmaster on the Bloodseeker, so...
What? Got the
Radiant's
Aghanims
bottom
now on the
barracks are
Pango.
under attack.
You've got the extra swashbuckle damage as well from the level 20. A lot more damage that Tokyo is able to do in these team fights. You gotta enable him though. You gotta try and find that initial pick off there. Doesn't matter who, honestly. Could be anyone.
Maposhka's gonna go in. I'm gonna try and give her the next assassin for the team fight. Chrysalis, no hesitation with jumping to the cogs, and will be no follow-up. Maybe trying to make some space, seeing if Yotora can have an opening to deal with this final barracks down bottom.
He got X marks back though, so he's gonna be able to deal with it and still make the retreat. Put the Mjolnir onto the creep wave. Potentially use that to keep it extra shoved, but he's approaching his level 25. 2 ruptured diamonds.
Aggressive jump on the high ground with the roar as well.
Found him.
I brought Nisha to low damage to start the fight. Down to the low ground they go, trying to target them with the next assassin. They'll be able to get a double kill.
And the gem.
What a perfect way to start the team fight on Spirit, and they want more now with this advantage. Yotaro trying to chase down Puppy. He's got to be cautious about the rupture. That'll just cover the retreat on Chrysalis, but they're still going to be able to catch up nonetheless. As Toronto Tokyo easily closes the distance, and Spirit won't even sweat it in that team
Roche
fight,
is up
and they
as
can
well.
now consider about Roche.
You got one creep hitting into your tier 4s, but you don't care. The lane is pushed out enough, but Poshka dragging it away as well, just making sure that your own creep wave is able to overwhelm the super creeps. And I was saying, it's just an individual pick-off that you need, right? Doesn't matter onto who, but you probably couldn't ask for someone better than Nisha to just be slightly out of position, get that initial stun through. They're going to commit the buyback on Puppy, but I don't think this is going to result in much. It's going to need to be the biggest black hole of all time from Rezo.
He does have Refresher, so he might be able to kind of force out the first global sun.
Found him though.
The chopping though. The postcard just controlling up the Enigma. Won't even have an opportunity to use the spells. Dancing in and out, Yotaro goes, and Puppy somehow got put on the high ground. He might be able to clean off Mirror, but Toronto Tokyo gets a lucky bash. Soon to be a dieback for Chrysalis. He wants to enter the fight as well. Being able to clean up the Sansa up to the northern side. He's going to get some distance away, but Toronto Tokyo, hot pursuit, a bash there, and now he can bounce back, but Spirit, they want to get out.
Oh, Chrysalis went for the bash. He went for the lucky bash. And bottom lane's pushing in. I mean, these double creep waves, they're just lasting for way too long. Someone again is going to need to come back. Puppy, yoink, says, yeah, the AoE braid sap, but the damage that you're able to output, if you're able to just get in on top of them, it's reached this stage of the game. It's a 16k net worth lead, but it's a similar situation with the racks. You've got the Aegis advantage as well.
Ayats, they see collapse on the high ground. The boys gonna move over pretty fast because Nisha with some crits coming through for the Tidebringer. They can turn it around. Team Spirit playing the distance. Another easy kill with a global silence to cover. Oh my, just short.
But yeah, we get the bottom lane. I mean, Puppy, he's not there. He's just continuing to farm. Let me just have a look at the difference between the supports levels as well. Puppy nearly up to the level 20. Gonna really provide him too much in these fights, right? The Nightmare cooldown, nice, I suppose, just to be able to juke out perhaps some of these Rolling Thunders or maybe even the Roar if they're really on point. But he is one of the prime targets if Spirit are able to find him position-wise. So I feel like they're just doing every little thing right. Team Spirit right now to give them the chances to get back into this game. Maybe even looking to play more around this bottom side. You know that they're going to drag people down here to have to deal with this lane. Maybe you can find a pick-off as they try and deal with it.
We've spoken a lot about Spirit's late game and how we feel like this is a 5-man that might have the advantage over Secret. I'm really intrigued to see how Chrysalis is going to be able to scale. I think Bloodseeker with the Ag shard is very, very undervalued, and in a game like this where you're going up against a Spectre who's going to have a crap load of health, and the Beastmaster as well, like if he gets, I think, Swiftblink and Abyssal, I think he might be able to do it for Secret.
I think he might need Silver Edge on top of that. Just for the break, but not even just the break for the Spectre's potential, right? Also, you're going up against the Aghanim Scepter on the Pango, not necessarily just within the ball. Every single time that you're using your shield crash, you're swashbuckling, right? So he's going to be going for that disarm. You want to make sure that that doesn't happen to you. You want to make sure that to get that instant jump there and you're able to lock him down.
Anyone shows on the map, they might just die. Yatora's got a DD. Your Secret got to play a little bit more group together for the next 40 seconds or so. Make sure you don't give a freebie away. Once you get that kill on Spirit, you can now start to swarm into Secret's territory. See if they can set up. Starting to move down bottom. Crystal's going to TP out. Zayat's in the jungle at the moment. Miposhka was smoked. Got the vision of the Nyx Assassin as well. Miposhka just needs to line up, and he'll do it perfectly. A great hook shot from the Clockwork, and now you got 70 seconds where you don't have to worry about the Nyx. But Secret, multiple heroes showing down bottom, so they're going to maybe make a play up top.
Pretty healthy creep wave again.
Dire
Reason they're using this Rumble Hide instead, maybe just the attack speed aura, they feel like is going to provide the extra Radic potential rather than just the simple right clicks.
Radiant's middle tower is under
Yeah,
attack.
I can't.
anything.
Not that I can see, no, so not sure. You sure? Tease. Sage is going for next. Lincoln's on the Kunkka, almost level 25 as well. So probably going to see the Tidebringer cooldown, considering really needs to be scaling damage as this game continues to go on.
Has fallen.
Got it as well. He had the Aghanim Scepter queued up for the longest time, again, just trying to provide a little bit more space, perhaps some of that chaos that Resolution needs, because we haven't seen that huge black hole yet this game. That's one of the things that could look to Secret back into this one, but how many times do you see a team go from a 16k to a 10k net worth lead, and slowly but surely the opposing team is just closing in on your territory? Should be the opposite a lot of the time. That's just the power of the Spectre, power of the vision, and the inability of Secret's heroes to be able to deal with this pushing style of draft.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Momentum is completely swung. They will be able to avoid the Aegis advantage. Let's not lose a big team fight. But it has given TSpirit so much now. Pretty much an angle back into this game. D2 tower is just getting claimed mid. Slow poke from collapse. And there's going to be no response. So looks like our final outer tower is going to go down.
The Tidebringer cooldown as well. Wanting to enable Nisha as much as possible. And he's tired of getting caught out as well. Lincoln Sphere, next item built up for him. He's gone into the Silver Edge as well. So I really don't see Yatura ever being in a position where he's going to be caught out first. He's nearly level 25 as well. So what option he looks to go down towards, whether it be the haunt damage or just decrement from the dispersion. He's sold the blade mail, so maybe he's going to choose dispersion. He wants the instant pick off.
Getting far forward, so Junkins getting there. He's just going to try and turn the ground off the back of the Tidebringer. A lot of damage to be able to start the team fight. It's Toronto Tokyo is going to get overwhelmed. The Secret, 0 casualties from them. A beautiful skirmish.
They ended up popping the haunt for that one as well, and I'm sure they're going to be aware of that. Still waiting for that black hole. You know, they didn't pop the global silence for it, so clearly we're thinking that we just need to be able to save this for the Enigma. That's the thing that's going to be able to bring Secret back into this game. So hard to say that with an 11k lead, right? But it does feel like if they are able to get that big 4-5 man wipe, then they can actually look to aggressively push out these lanes.
They need to try and control their jungle, though. But these two pickoffs, you need to start to deal with the map, and they're going to do it as a team. So they have this potential to go for these pickoffs thanks to the Spectre. So there's one ward gone. Be able to get some more as well with the outpost control. So this is incredibly important now for Secret. Gives them a position that they're not too worried about Spirit having full control over.
Down that burst trap though, aren't they? On TSpirit. More pressure available. Collapse. Imagine the Blink Dagger set to come after that. You know, they've got great ways to jump with the clock, with the Pango. Just need that extra layer.
Dyax gonna find one. It's got Poppy nearby. Yatora's gonna jump in and just assassinate the bait. He's out and get out as well. They didn't need the global silence to counter it, but they've used the first one. Where's the refreshers coming into play? But it looks like both sides are gonna back up.
The middle with that hook shot. I mean, you understand the global silence every single time that you see the black hole. That's why you're using it. been able to pick up the refresher orb as well. Silencer, one of the better heroes to actually carry it these days. Not, of course, just for the double usage, but you're always going to need that extra mana regen coming through.
It really seems like that's probably what it's going to be. Like your Toro jumping in onto one target and Rezo just waiting for him to use the Shadow Step. Where you try and pop the black hole first time, and then global out, and then you use it a second time to follow up again afterwards.
Medium length Roche respawn as well.
That's another jump with Chrysalis nearby. Plenty of damage. Collapse going to be able to cover with the raw. Yutoro's in as well. They just blow up the Bloodseeker. And now they're looking for more as Yutoro is going to be able to catch out Resolution. In and out they go. Have they got detection though? A great timing with the blink, but the Hawk is there to scout out the Enigma. Spirit, they will not be able to move on over.
Work's got the hook shot available. It's just all about that vision. Coming up in a couple of seconds. Could he catch someone on the retreat, or could potentially Nisha be the one? And he goes for the one shot. Two shot, that'll do.
Deep sixed.
The rest of the boys are coming. This has been such a weird game.
Oh yeah.
What do you do to 18?
20 minutes in, 10 minutes away. I don't want to jinx it.
Tokyo mid lane. That's with the jump. Nisha's got the fall as well. Yutoro needs to try and protect him, but the Spectre's not going to do enough. Another big kill for Secret to find him. Resolution's ready to rock and roll. In with the black hole, but the instant counter. Collapse. Going to be able to cover the retreat, but they have to break. Yutoro's in some trouble for the moment. Nisha needs to pump the damage out, but the global silence not going to be enough. A hook shot into the middle, but Zayat's the finishing blow, cutting off the head of the Spectre. But can they get more out of this Secret? They're nearby as 3, but Toronto Tokyo wants revenge and is going to be able to find it. Catching up to the Nyx Assassin, over to the Bloodseeker, he goes next as well for the rupture from Chrysalis, the double rupture as well for Collapse. A fashion look around the TPR, but he gets the badge. Chrysalis finds 2, and he's looking for more.
He's looking for more, but he might not need it. Buyback coming out from the entire team out of TSpirit right now. One buyback remaining, just the silencer. You can look to go for these little pickoffs. I guess Roche is back up. You did need to commit the buyback on the Bloodseeker. They're going down the safer route. It mean that he could look to go into that Missile Blade as well, but they had to win that fight on Secret. They absolutely had to. You expanded the buyback on Chrysalis, and he pops the BKB, gets the bash on Toronto Tokyo as he uses his own buyback, tries to TP away, gets the bash with all of that attack speed onto Collapse as well, opens up the Roche pit for themselves. Still left on the ground there, just able to pick it up.
Alright, fourth first of the game, the components. We got the Ages on Chrysalis, Scepter. Resolution's holding it for the moment. She's got the cheese and refresher shot as well for the Kunkka.
You just got to enable Chrysalis to go in and right click. I think it's that simple. He's got the Abyssal. You want to try and end the game now? Yeah, I would say so. Lots of buybacks being expended. You find a pick off onto any of these cores and feel so confident, so you're going to be holding themselves up inside the base. You know, they like to make these super aggressive moves when they feel like they have no right to, but time for it. Should join the rest of his team after fixing the bottom side. They know he's there. They wait out this 25 seconds.
It's such
they're
an
looking to try and
incredibly hard
bait.
defense.
Look at this. Look at this micro coming out from the Spectre. They're trying to get them to jump in onto it, but it's just the illusion. Not anything.
Falcon instantly applying the Lotus Sword. They need Mira. It's really important with the team fights. They're not going to die to the TP on Rupture.
Structures are fortified.
Close enough. Oh, look at this. I believe they actually gave the Scepter over to Zayat, so now he's just borrowed up on the high ground.
No.
Welcome back.
Oh my god!
Guts with my blade.
Oh, Kunkka, what a
Dire's
year.
top barracks has
In a
fallen.
late game man like this, Nisha's even got a rapier queued up as well. We might not even need it though. Sure, just shy. Mira's the only one with buyback on TSpirit.
The one that they could have afford to put forward that little bit further, and they're just going to go down the safe route. On Secret, they make the jump.
Thunder. Onto Chrysalis, but instant Lincoln's pot. Using the Rupture and the Black Hole as well for good measure, but there's the buyback. Been able to counter out the Black Hole. A lot of spells casted for the initial life, but how can they reset for round 2 as Nisha jumps over the tree line, over to Collapse they go. A second round of the Stormcraft to get some distance away. They'll be able to kill off the Bloodseeker, but can they set up for round 2? They don't have enough members Black hole moment is into the middle. They go, but there's the global once again, but it might not matter. It's Christmas stacking up the attack speed, bash up the bash. Fiend's Grip now for good measure. They've locked onto their target, and there might be no escape for the Spectre. A dieback for your Toro, and now the rest of the team will be buried 6 feet under as they had to work for it secret. It'll take him 54 minutes to take this game to, but what an incredible victory for them.
And what an incredible performance by Chris.